Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us. This is the Let's Talk Luxury call. As a reminder, we meet every first Wednesday, and so our next call is September 6th. The objective of our call is to connect luxury-focused agents with luxury industry leaders. So we're delighted about our guests today. I'm Jennifer Scales. I'm in Tampa. Anjali Gill is also in Tampa, and Jason is down in South Florida covering Miami and all of South Florida. Let's see what else. Okay, so check out the chat. I'll put some information in the chat about how to keep up with us. I believe the easiest way is to join our Facebook group. That's where we post all of our announcements and our events. So, but there's other ways. You can follow us on our YouTube channel where we store all of our recorded calls. And I think that's it for now. Without further ado, Anjali, if you want to kick things off, we can get going.
Absolutely. So if I decide to actually introduce Christina with all her titles and everything else, we'd be here for a while. That would pretty much be the call. So I'm just going to say, this is the one and only Christina Griffin. She is the head of the Reload division and the head of the off-market division as well, which we don't have, but we'll have, I'm pretty sure, going the way she is. But she teaches a fabulous class on finding off-market properties. And I am very lucky to be part of her world and on her team, and I get to learn firsthand. So yay, part. Christina's here today to talk to us about a very interesting topic, things you don't always put together, off-market properties and luxury. I mean, very often those are like opposite ends of the spectrum, but leave it to her to find a way to join them and show us how to, because she is the most giving and sharing person I have ever met. And I'm not saying this just because I'm on a team. Honestly, she is. There has never been anything you ask her, but how do you do this? Or how did you get here? That she doesn't tell you and share with you instantly. She's got the biggest heart and has never met the word no. So yeah, we're lucky. So Christina, without further ado, welcome and tell us more. I mean, how do we all find, I know how we do, but how do the rest of them get about finding these off-market listings and making that connection?
Okay, well, thank you for the amazing, kind introduction. I also want to preface with, you can see my virtual background, just realized I forgot to change it. I am a MAPS coach, and coaching and educating and teaching is a super big passion of mine. I love coaching people across the country. I feel like it helps me be a better leader and have a pulse on what's actually happening in the world of real estate. I do run Reload department as well as Reload community for Keller Williams. In addition, online leads. With Keller Williams, we've sent about 60,000 leads out in the last, 4 or 5 months. So needless to say, I do have a pulse on what's happening in the real estate industry. We're here today because Anjali will tell you I can pretty much talk about anything, but we're here today and the focus is off market. Many of us don't realize what data is at our fingertips. And off-market luxury is a big component. I will show you a tool today that I love. It is, in my mind, every real estate agent should be part of their day-to-day. Many of us do not realize the amount of opportunity that sells off-market in all price points. So I will show you a very interesting way to be able to see what happens in your neighborhood. I always say my teaching has to do with taking your blinders off and seeing what truly is happening. And I'll share with you just a few action items that you guys can go and implement into your business regardless of the price points that are there. So what I want to start with is, in high stakes world of luxury, right? There's a niche that a few have successfully mastered. And when you learn the distress side, or you learn the off-market side, it's going to set you apart, and it's going to open a whole new opportunities for you. A lot of what off-market encompasses is life events. I am passionate about teaching around life events and showing agents how to think differently, because life events are how we can impact people in our world, impact people that are in our community, and for them to be able to come to us. If someone in your community doesn't know that you specialize in bankruptcy, they're going to go to somebody else that has it in their profile and shows themselves as the expert. In luxury, there are a few key things that will help you connect and create more opportunity. Distressed. I want to preface distress, and distress, it has to do with delinquency, but it also has to do with things like HOA liens. And that is, I'd say, the key indicator that people will be able to find out if it's distressed or not. But there's a whole nother world that most of us don't even think of, and I'm going to go over that as well. So in luxury real estate, there are a lot of amazing, lucrative opportunities. There we go. All right, I am muted. So in luxury real estate, there are a ton of lucrative opportunities. And here's how I want you to think. So you're going to have financial distress. So owners of distressed properties, they're typically motivated to sell due to financial hardship. Now, in the luxury sector, these circumstances might arise due to poor investment decisions, sudden financial loss, changing economic conditions. Think about when you go to a store and businesses that have closed even in your local mall, or the different large businesses that are closing, that a lot of people in luxury in that higher price point, they're owning businesses, and due to the economic change, they're having to restructure their entire financial portfolio. So selling a distressed property, it is also a very sensitive issue. High profile individuals, they may opt for off-market transactions to maintain their privacy and avoid being associated with financial distress. So that's something I want you to keep in mind. Now, market opportunities. Distressed luxury properties, they often sell for less than what they're actually worth, providing opportunities for investors to acquire valuable assets at a reduced price, refurbish them, sell them at market value, and generate substantial profits. Now, I want you to think about in the luxury realm, and I'm going to show you some simple ways to determine what's happening in the neighborhood in different financial distress. Some people that are high profile, they may not realize that the fact they're going through a divorce is public. They may want to sell the property off market because they don't want the neighbors to know that they're going through this sensitive situation. So for you guys to understand what's happening in your direct world, and know what those opportunities are, and be that person of choice. I don't recommend you to send a mailer to say, hey, I know you're going through a divorce, give me a call. It really, truly, it's almost showing up at the right time, and it could say that you specialize for the life event that they're going through. All right, so strategies for you guys. We need to develop a strong network. This is an action item that everybody needs to focus on. So a strong network is going to be uncovering off-market distressed properties. It requires knowledge, right? It also requires a network of connections, ranging from attorneys and financial advisors. It is very important, if you do not have them and you want to pursue this type of market, having a bankruptcy attorney, having a probate attorney, having, in addition to that, a divorce attorney that you refer business to in your area and that you can rely on is going to help you connect and understand that side of the business. I'm going to recommend 2 attorneys of each different bracket, divorce, bankruptcy, and probate, because that's going to give you the ability to expand your network. Now, some of you may have gone through a bankruptcy or a divorce yourself. You may decide that you want to specialize in something specific. Now, in the luxury realm of things, having a tax attorney is also something you can add. So again, if you haven't built out that network, I want you to find those attorneys in your area, and that's part of your prospecting. It's a matter of simply picking up the phone, calling let's just say a bankruptcy attorney and saying, I'm an agent, I prospect for off-market properties. My question to you is, how can I share your services to people that I prospect to that may need, or they may be in financial distress and they may need your services? Let that attorney share with you a list of all the state requirements. Let them send you all of the details on bankruptcy and the nuances of it and the different things that that attorney can support you on. Ask questions. Ask how you guys can work together on maybe marketing pieces to impact people going through different life events. Many attorneys will help you, and you guys work together. When you start to refer them business, they're going to also refer you business. So again, tax, bankruptcy, probate, and divorce. Build out that network, start having conversations. That's going to be a very big pinnacle step in building this side of the business. Anjali, question for you. Do you want me to pause in between certain things in case you guys have questions, or do you want me just to continue? I want to make sure that I'm following your process.
No, you do you. So whatever works. I don't want to jump in with questions and, stem your flow, but if you see questions, go for it. Thank you.
Guys, if there are certain questions you have, I want you to make sure to put in the chat, and I will answer the questions that you have. When you are, luxury is a little different than the normal, but here it's really truly the same, because here's the thing, their problem's just a little bit bigger. It's a little different, right? If they lost their business or multi-million-dollar portfolios, that's where the problem's just wider. So having those attorney relationships and connecting with them, regardless of what is happening in your world, in their world, is going to allow you to be the person of choice. And the basic script for the attorneys, great question. It's just, my name's Christina Griffin. I am with Keller Williams. I prospect for off-market. Now, in doing so, I come across a lot of people that are going through a divorce. I'd like to see what is the easiest way to refer your services. Can you share with me the divorce requirements for our state? Can you share with me all of the different services that you provide? Let them sell you. We're business professionals, and we end up letting people, sell us all the time, right? Or we're the one usually selling ourselves. Let them sell themselves. Now, if they won't pick up the phone and have a conversation with you, or their assistant or person that when you answer the phone, they won't have a conversation with you, that's probably not someone I want to be in business with, right? So you move on. There are plenty of people. Now, guys, you can always post in your local Facebook groups. You can always post on your Facebook. Hey, does anyone have an attorney referral that you would like to give me? I want to make sure that you preface it for a customer, because if you post on your Facebook and say, hey, I need a divorce attorney, what do you think they're going to think? Hey, are you and your husband?
You're getting divorced.
Yeah. Are you and your husband okay? So again, make sure to preface that, but attorneys are going to be a really great piece of business for you to create those relationships across the board. Now, the beautiful thing around bankruptcy attorneys, even in the luxury world, that's normally what step most people go to, because they're going to have multiple assets and they're going to do a Chapter 13 or a Chapter 7 bankruptcy. So it's very important for you to understand the differences. So Chapter 7, there's an ability for them to save the home they're in or work out an agreement, but there's something called a skeleton filing that an attorney could, within days, stop the process. Now, most people that have a very large luxury portfolio, they're going to do a Chapter 13 bankruptcy because they have to do a whole debt reorganization and figure out what they can and can't keep. So again, this is something an attorney will share with you. This is something that they're going to be able to give you all of these details. And your states are going to be different on what those criteria are. So again, start to build these relationships and start to have people that you can refer. Another beautiful thing around specializing in bankruptcy and luxury or across the board, when you have and you start to work bankruptcy, then you get referred to a trustee who's handling the whole bankruptcy process, and they pick their own real estate agents. So we need to be in a relationship first, usually before a trustee gets involved or we lose the listing. Now, having conversations with trustees will help. This is going to have to do with education, guys, and let that attorney educate you. So that's going to be a big step for everybody, is start to build a strong network of those attorneys, because that's going to be integral in helping with what you're going through. Now, all of you are going to decide, or you're maybe there's something you're going to want to specialize in. And most people, when they specialize in certain aspects of life events, it's because they've gone through something themselves, right? Maybe I had a horrible divorce, and I don't want anyone to go through that. I lost somebody in my family. Gosh, my dad died when I was 18 years old. And if I was who I was now, his estate would have been handled so differently, but I let my family deal with it. Probate is a passion of mine, because when people are going through loss, when you lose somebody, they make a lot of really insane decisions. So when you guys can be empathetic and you can specialize in it, it's really, really going to be able to let you work through. So, all right, let me just make sure I've got questions, and then we'll continue to go on. So you can use LinkedIn. What I've learned, Facebook is a great resource. I also like to look at reviews. However, you're also, with high profile clients, there's different realms of different types of attorneys. You're going to have the one that will wait to get paid until a closing because the person has no money. And then you're going to have the luxury type private client attorneys. So you can also, when you call them, ask, what type of book of business do you work with? You know, is there a certain client you specialize in? You 100% you can do an elder attorney in elder law. However, and I've noticed that that's more in a middle price point or lower. And they normally have someone that's helping them through the process. I haven't seen a lot of the elder law conversations in a luxury type of situation. Okay. All right. So I'm going to move on from attorneys. You starting to build that network is going to be important so you can continue to work with them. Now, tactics, I want you to look at, so you're going to have networking events. You're going to, there are, again, we already talked about bankruptcy, divorce, and probate. Now, off market, luxury. They love to buy investment properties. So we're going to have the distressed. We discuss the attorneys, and I'm going to show you how to find that information. Then we're going to have helping them build their net worth and their portfolio. So if you guys do not know anything about investment real estate and you want to work in the off-market space and you want to service luxury clients, what would it look like if you learned how to help them find assets to build and grow their portfolio? So understanding how to network with them, understanding how to have conversations with them will help you do that. Now, there are investor associations across the country. My favorite, they're called RIAs, R-E-I-A, okay? Now, Anjali, I'm going to have Gracie create a, where we can share some resources into your Facebook group, if that's okay.
That would be awesome. Thank you so much, because I know you've got a ton of fabulous resources.
So we'll do I've got some attorney letters we can share. We have an investor Q&A for those that don't know how to have a conversation with an investor that you can fill out. We'll put the RIAs, we'll put the golden letters. Gracie, the new template that Ivy just created for the mailer, we can also share that as well. I would have not until I just saw my beautiful Gracie here. So leverage is a beautiful thing, guys. I am very, very blessed. Okay. So being able to,
would you like to just tell them what a RIA is? Because a lot of people don't know that terminology.
Real Estate Investor Association. So a lot of it is how I got started. And I've been in the business for over 20 years, but one of my first starting paths in the world of real estate was a small local real estate investor. He needed to have help selling his properties. And I sold them all. And he said, I need you to learn how to find me more. And I found so many, he couldn't buy them all. And then I ended up going to real estate investor associations, becoming that. I was literally like 23 years old and would stand up in front of a room of 500 plus investors and say, I'm the person that's going to help you find properties. And yeah, that's kind of my journey. I would rent large buses, pile investors on, have contractors at the property, have hard money lenders at the property, and walk through bank foreclosures. And then I got trained by the best to learn how to find the off market. We're lucky if you're just getting into off market now, there's resources that put all the data in one place. I used to have to go to 20 different places in the courthouse to find it. So, but anyway, investors are a big thing. You're going to off market, you're in a luxury space. You're going to talk to people that want to grow their net worth. They're going to want to have a buy, fix, and sell. They're going to want to do what's called the BRRRR method. They buy it, they renovate it, they rent it, and then they refinance it. Knowing how to be able to guide them through that process is going to help you connect even more. Now, your luxury clients, if you haven't asked them, would they like to invest in real estate? It's a great engagement. Okay. Now I'm going to show you a cool tool that will allow you to put their address in, and you can see how many assets they own across the entire country. Which is very interesting. So, but I'll show you that as well. So again, building the investor side of the business is a very big tactic on helping you grow with off market. Now, if you're going to do that, you need to understand how data and then conversations and how to be able to identify what your investors in your luxury space want. So how to do that? We take specialized courses that teach us how to do that. We collaborate with real estate attorneys and accounts to deepen your understanding of legal and financial implications. Stay up to date with real estate laws and regulations. Have a great bookkeeper or tax accountant in the luxury space that you understand what a 1031 exchange is. You're going to deal in a luxury space more than a lower income space when you're servicing those clients where they have what's called a 1031 exchange they're going to need. Now, if you don't know what a 1031 exchange is, then you're going to immediately show that you're not an expert. But when you have people that you can ask these questions to, it's going to help you even more be able to counteract that. So you ask your bookkeeper, you ask your tax accountant what exactly that is. Now, what that is you're going to have a client that's going to sell a business. They're going to sell a investment property, maybe their second home. You guys deal with a lot of luxury clients. I'm sure that maybe they have a multi-million-dollar property that they need to sell, but it's their second home because they have multiple homes across the country. It's a way for them to take the profit, not pay taxes on it, and roll it into another property, but it's got to be done within a certain time frame. So understanding what that looks like, and you can go to good old Google if you want to see 1031 exchange, but that and having the training around that's going to be helpful. Again, we all look at resources. That is another layer of a resource. You add on to building your network, an accountant or a bookkeeper. I would say an accountant. Let them tell you how a 1031 exchange works and let them give you guidance. You can even go to good old ChatGPT and ask, what's a 1031 exchange, or write a bullet point on how my investors or my clients can take advantage of that to be able to show that you're a specialist until you learn it. Okay. So that's a big thing. All right. Maintain discretion and sensitivity. Engaging with owners that are distressed requires tactic, discretion, sensitivity. Building trust is critical, and facilitating transactions that could be emotionally charged. So, okay, that's super, super important. We need to demonstrate empathy and professionalism in all interaction. We need to uphold privacy and confidentiality at all times, no matter what. It's very important when you're going to deal with people that are distressed and going through issues in their world. Communicate clearly, set realistic expectations for all parties involved. Okay. Now I'm going to give you a challenge because I have a little bit more I'm going to share, and then I want to get you into action. I would love someone to post a random luxury address anywhere in the country, and I'm going to show you a simple way to see what's happening in that neighborhood. But it doesn't matter, any address, Miami to Texas, anywhere, post an address, and I'm going to show you a cool way to see what's happening. Access and community property potential. So we need to understand renovation cost. If you're going to work in a distressed luxury space or in general, starting to add to that network, contractors, repairmen, people that you can connect with to say, hey, here's a photo, there's no air condition here. Can you please let me know what that cost? Having somebody that you can connect with to be able, until you understand renovation costs, is also going to be very helpful. Okay. Now, creating, all of us should have a great presentation when we go in to a situation that's distressed, but I want you to understand that it's almost not what they're going to net. It's the discretion that they need and where are they going to go. Many of us don't want to deal with rentals. When someone's going through a distress situation, helping them find a rental, staying in touch with them, and being sincere, they're going to never forget you when they're going through a time of need and issues that they've dealt with in their world. So again, very important to make sure to help them with that next step, and be sincere, and be able to, regardless if you're making a few $100s on a rental, don't leave them to go try and find something on their own. Help them. All right, so we talked about building a strong network, understanding legal and financial dynamics, sensitivity to situations, having and going to investor meetup groups to be able to connect with people, and understanding of 1031 exchanges. And those are, I would say, some simple tactics that you guys, as you're building this piece of your business, it will truly impact your clients as well as your real estate pipeline, growing these pieces of the business. Now, I saw a comment that Christina's a beast or really great at time management. All of these things that I just shared with you, you guys have to put the task down on paper. And every week you need to be focused on actions to grow your business. So if it's, I'm going to build and I'm going to connect with 8 different real estate attorneys for the month, you pull them and you have, it's literally just taking the motion out and checking a box and focusing on the task at hand on what you're doing. Okay. All right. Does anyone have any questions on what I discussed so far? Or anything that you would like me to dig deeper on before we have some fun? Okay. Jason, I think you raised your hand, but you're on mute.
Yes, Christina, thank you again. This is incredible information. Thank you for your time and for sharing. For some questions that come to mind here are, okay, who pays the commission? Like some of the mechanics of it, right? So you come across an off-market opportunity, distressed seller. Okay, and then what are the mechanics? Who pays? Does the property owner sign a commission agreement? Do they sign a listing agreement? What does the buyer need to sign in order to access that off-market listing? How do we as agents ensure that our commission is protected when doing off-market transactions? Do you have any agreements or forms? It's a whole bunch of questions, but it's such an interesting topic. Do you have any agreements or forms that you might be able to drop in the chat that will help us, the referral partners around the country, to know what form to send the seller, what form to send the buyer? That's pretty much what comes to mind.
Absolutely. So we have a right to solicit offer agreement that we can share in the resources. It's going to be important for you to make sure that that's okay in your state. What I would say to you, off market, treat it just like a for sale by owner.
Okay.
Most of us overcomplicate the situation, but truly just treat it like a for sale by owner, and have that the same exact paperwork. Off market is a sticky situation. Sometimes agents, our people are worried, hey, someone's going to go around me. There's not a lot of protection in off market other than trust. Okay. The right to solicit offer agreement is it basically is just a form. And again, it's about as binding as people's word. And the form states that the seller is allowing you to go find offers for them on the property. Okay. A lot of off market can get to market. We just need to show them the why around it. It is I can list it here. And this is what I can get for it, or I can go find buyers. However, you may not get the net. Tell me why you don't want to list it on the market. Well, I don't want people going through my home. There's, my husband and I are fighting. We've got one person here. The house is a mess. Okay, well, what would it look like if we took offers subject to viewing the house, or we have 1 hour that everyone that's interested goes through the property? There are different ways, or you know what, I really want to stay here, but we're going to lose the property. Well, if I had a buyer that bought the home and they gave you 3 months to stay there, would that work? It's just understanding and talking through things. But yeah, the simplicity around it is treat it like an off market for sale by owner. That's correct.
Thank you. Okay, helpful.
Okay. Does anyone have any other questions before I move on? Okay. All right. So there are a lot of different data sources. I use one that will share a 30-day free trial on. Some of you may have it, some of you may not. Why I like PropStream is they added the do not call for me. They have also added all the quick list choices and filters that us as real estate agents can use if we just know how to use it. So I'm going to show you a quick example and I'm going from starting to ending on properties to show what is available at our fingertips that most of us don't even know exist. So I put the property address in. It was the first one that someone posted. And I'm going to look at this particular property. So I see it's a living trust. Okay. There's MLS details. There's tax information, mortgage history. It's pretty clean, right? I don't see that there's any liens other than it's a living trust. Now, here's something most of us don't think of. We don't think about, and I'm going to just bring it out a mile so you can see. We do not think about what sells off market. Most of us think, there's just nothing available for my clients. So you're going to see here, all the green, those are off-market sales. Okay. So again, most of us, we don't think that way. We think that, hey, there's just nothing selling, but there is things selling. They're just not selling through us as a real estate agent. So it's as simple as putting the address into the system. And I have, again, a free 30-day trial you guys can use. You hit comparable and nearby listings. What would it look like if you went to a listing appointment and you were able to show all the off-market transactions as well? And you were able to say to a seller, do you see these off-market transactions? Look at the houses that sold on market. That's why you should list with me, is I'm going to get you more money. So again, that's just, I call it a way to differentiate yourself. Now, this is on the screen, right? I don't know the area. I'm just going to show you for demonstration purposes, wild and crazy, like square. Okay. So we have a neighborhood. It's a luxury neighborhood. I am going to go through what's called our quick list choices. Under filter, I'm going to go through the list. 54 properties vacant by the U.S. Post Office. 17 properties with liens and judgments, county liens, HOA liens, tax liens. 5 properties in pre-foreclosure. Okay, so we have 5 properties in pre-foreclosure in a luxury neighborhood. Most of us don't think people that have a $6 million home would be losing their home, do we? Okay, so that is another key indicator. Okay, we have auction properties. There's nothing. There's no bank own. Now there's cash buyers, high equity, free and clear. Bankruptcy, there's nothing. 2 people going through a divorce. 81 properties that haven't paid their property taxes in over a year. Okay. We have flippers. We have failed listings, 288 expireds. We have 495 seniors. We have tired landlords, zombie properties. Those are abandoned by the city, so there's none, and there's nothing in probate. So that's how simple it is. When you have the right tools, guys, I used to have to use 20 different tools or go to the courthouse and put it all together. But it's taking a lens of, there truly is in many areas, there are things happening we're not aware of. And when we use that as an indicator and we reach out to that client that we're there to help, or we come from contribution, it will help you grow. And I want you to imagine life events that I just went through. It's normally a 1 in 4 chance they have to sell. Okay. So a 1 in 4 chance, pre-foreclosure, divorce, bankruptcy, probate, they're either going to keep the house, find a way to work it out, they're going to lose it, or they're going to need to sell it in most cases. Now, here's another fun one. You guys aren't aware, in the neighborhood you live in, who's an investor. What do you think that would do for you? Could be your neighbor across the street. Maybe you're not aware that they own hundreds of properties across the country. So that's another approach. So this just says Stella LLC. You go to linked properties, they own 1,275 properties. Could be your next door neighbor, right? It could be your next door neighbor owns 10 properties. We'll do a walkthrough. I have a walkthrough on how to find the investors. And guys, I do teach on this on a high level, but the awareness on what is available in the luxury world, what would it look like if we took our blinders off and we helped people going through the life events, but we also helped investors be able to grow their net worth and be able to continue to grow their portfolio and help them in other parts. Now, many investors, they're selling portfolios right now. So if you become an expert on helping them, sky's the limit. Heck, in Key Biscayne alone, there's 18 pre-foreclosures. Yeah, and there are, because there wasn't any, there's 2 going through that had a death in the family. So I hope this may have opened a little bit of awareness that you guys weren't aware of. Most people equate distressed properties to low priced properties that need repair. It's not the case. They need our help. It's the same conversation. So for those that focus in certain areas or certain price points, become that expert to people that need our help right away. Attorneys, understanding how to find the data, reaching out. And it could just be a simple, I'm your neighbor and an agent, I'm working with buyers. Are you interested in selling your home? That's how simple it could be. I implore you to not send a letter saying, hey, I know you just went through a bankruptcy or you had a death in the family. Let them tell you that. Make sure that these different events that I shared with you are that if you're going to work on this, bankruptcy, delinquency, death, divorce, add it as a specialty on your profiles, because the people in your world, if they don't know that you can, if you specialize in divorce or bankruptcy or investment, they may not reach out to you. So if you have these things on your public facing profiles, even Zillow, that has all the different brackets that you can pick. I think it's 4 to 5 you can pick now, realtor.com. That will help. Use ChatGPT. Write a blog post and put it on. Most of you have nice luxury websites. It could be write a blog post, talk to ChatGPT on how someone going through a bankruptcy can work with a real estate agent in West Palm Beach. Tweak it, change it. But when you have that content and it's public, then they're going to understand that they can work with you and they can connect with you and trust you. Okay, Anjali, you said 45 minutes, my love. So I so appreciate you guys. Feel free to reach out to me. I do have a blog, ChristinaGriffin.com. I have a lot of videos posted. I have a lot of resources. You just put download tips to get more referrals that you guys can go to. But sky's the limit. The biggest thing is we need to not overanalyze and we need to get into action, or nothing's going to happen.
What are
Well,
you
actually,
saying to the pre-foreclosure?
sorry, just a second.
Sorry.
Christina, I said 45 minutes of you talking. Can we keep you for a little longer?
Yeah,
possibly?
they can ask me questions. 100%.
Thank you. Sorry about that, Khalid.
That's okay. What are you doing? What are you saying to the pre-foreclosure? Because I just looked into my neighborhood and there's like 15. So I'm a little surprised right now. So if I want to go after them, what do I do? And if they say they're owned by corporate, is that the bankruptcy court or is that somebody else?
If they're owned by corporate, it may have already reverted back to the bank, or it could be a investor group that holds it in a corporation. A lot of investors are losing their homes right now.
Okay.
Like Texas is a big one, and that taxes are through the roof, and the tax delinquencies are massive across the country. So I like the softer approach unless there's a foreclosure sale date and they're physically losing their home. So on my blog, there's an entire folder of a ton of letters. I like just the simple golden letter. It could be a simple circle prospecting script. Hey, I'm working with buyers, just curious if you'd like to know the value of your home. Then they counteract and they tell you, I am, I'm a few months behind in my mortgage. Then you come from contribution. I've got a video on my blog. His name's Warney. He's someone I coach. His main focus is people in pre-foreclosure. He door knocks, he goes to the foreclosure sale, but he shares on how you come from contribution. And when you come from contribution, you share their options. Hey, have you done a loan modification? Do you need some help? You know, I can do a short sale if you like. I'm here to help you and give you the resources, and you stay in touch with them. That goes a long way. So I keep it simple. All these different things I shared with you, a good golden letter script or a circle prospecting script just to get your foot in the door, that will get them to start talking to you. Use these things I shared to you, these different buckets, as almost high sell scores. We know that terminology, right? It's a key indicator someone's got to sell their home. We're just reaching out to them, and then they may share the issue. Now, if you guys really want to dive into it, you know, you could 100% share, you know, and do approach like letters direct. High net worth individuals, weirdly, a lot of them don't realize this is public information. So then they get defensive. So that's the only thing I want you to test. All of your markets are different. Okay. Gracie will post the free 30-day trial for PropStream. It's 7 days on the site. When you use my link, you're going to get the do not call, and you're going to get a lot of things that will help for real estate agents. There's a lot of people on my real estate team here. Please remember, you guys have this link, so just check your resources. Okay. Any questions, guys? Oh, hi, beautiful. Hi, go ahead.
Sophia, you're muted. You need to hit the unmute, please. There you go.
So my concern is more about credibility, right? Because as you said, people go, they look for reviews, they, you know, want to make sure that they're dealing with someone that is, you know, experienced. So what do you recommend we do to sort of build that and, you know, show them that?
For you use me. That's so when you're on a team, you can use our resume. Now, for you would use, Gracie can share with you my REO resume. It has a lot of like experience on those things. Those of you that don't have it, but you've sold some houses, right? We publicly share that we're an expert. We add the criteria. We put the blog post out. You can use your office stats. That's another thing. Hey, we sold 500 homes, but I understand on the reviews, it comes in time. But when we share that we have a heart to serve and help them, I promise you it comes a long way. All right, guys, any other questions I can help you with? I'm sure I see the looks. I either give so much info that people's like heads hurt and it's like, okay, where do I start? But hopefully this at least created some awareness you guys weren't aware existed.
So, and I will post, I've captured, Gracie, all of your links. Thank you for sharing those resources with us. So I will make sure everybody that you join, if you're not already a part of our Facebook group, and I'll add some notes on how to access those resources. I just wanted to call that out. What is the prop stream after the 30 days? What's the expense on that? I know somebody's going to ask me.
$97 a month and 10 cents a contact if you want to skip trace them to get phone numbers and emails.
Okay, pretty impressive technology there.
I've tested every one and I haven't found one that compiles all the different data filters in the way that it does, that also is compliant, that we can use as a real estate agent.
If you actually start jumping into PropStream, oh my God, it's a whole world. You can just spend all day just finding information there and it'll blow your mind.
Yes.
It's an amazing tool. I don't know. I think everyone should just teach this when we get our real estate course, but it's good that they don't. We keep it as a little secret.
I'm working on a national level for KW where hopefully everyone will start having this, but it definitely is something I'm passionate about. And it's a great source. Okay. No questions. Let me see. I think we've got them all.
Actually, Jason has a question.
Okay.
Well, just with the questions that I mentioned, I think she pretty much covered all of them. Like, why would a seller do it? You explained why a seller would do off market. Why would they buy one? Because my experience, you look like a superstar if you're presenting off-market opportunities to buyers, right? So you look like a hero when you do that, almost like insider trading, like, ooh, this person, it separates you. You're not a commodity as an agent when you're presenting them off-market, right? You covered pretty much everything. I can't think of any other questions. Is there anything else that we can do to help you since you've been so generous with your time, Christina?
You're awesome. I've got another course that will be launching soon. We're about halfway through. There's still time to join. The discount code is alumni23. You can get a 23% off discount if you guys are interested in my learning off market class. I would say, if there's anything, I'm passionate about helping agents succeed. Most of them just get paralyzed and don't get into action. So I appreciate you guys having me. Ideally, we just have to be consistent and keep it simple. Anyone in my MAPS class, I do have, it's going to be launching next week, a prospecting type boot camp. Which we're going to be doing life events. And after Mega Camp, it's a 4-week on how to break down pre-foreclosures and do that. So, anyone that's there, Gracie will join. I also run relocation community. So if you're looking to grow that piece of your business, it goes hand in hand with luxury. The next class starts and I think it's October. So MAPS will be putting up a new link, I think, here very soon. So feel free to reach out if you guys have any questions. My blog has a ton of videos I've done, and I just appreciate you guys having me.
Well, what you said was just a perfect segue. We were wondering if, since you aren't really busy and don't have much to do in any case, could we just grab you for another session on relo? Because that is something we've had a lot of conversations about, and that is something I'm sure everyone on this call would be very interested in learning. So
100%.
we ask you to come back.
Yeah, our new benefits portal is launching this month too, which people are super excited about. So we have a lot of really cool things. So I'm happy to come back, teach you guys about corporate referrals, how to grow those in your world. So 100%, I would love that. And it's CristinaGriffin.com. That's my blog. It's a video blog. There's a lot of resources on that you can take a look at. Okay.
So
All right, guys.
Christina, sorry, if there's one thing you would tell people on this call today, what would be the first step to getting started on finding, I mean, besides the 14-day trial of PropStream, what would you say would be the first thing to do? Would it be find the attorneys? Would it be, what would you say? The attorneys?
Attorneys, because if you want to specialize in life events and you have no clue anything about bankruptcy, divorce, probate, even delinquencies, if you deal with pre-foreclosures, you're going to come across all three of those, because normally, pre-foreclosure, a lot of it's an indicator someone's going through a divorce, someone's going through a bankruptcy, things like that. So start to have those attorney conversations. And if you want to grow net worth, find a good investor group in your area. I love investors. They create multiple opportunities. So, now a lot of it is getting back to basics. I'm seeing that work more than anything right now. Okay.
And the four main ones to go for are the divorce attorneys, bankruptcy, tax, and probate, right? The four of them.
Absolutely. And that's in the luxury space. Tax, I don't see as much needed in the lower income space, but you guys are going to deal with people that have large IRS implications or other things, so that's a good space to go to. Okay,
Fantastic.
Feel free to reach out. Feel free to email me if you need anything. I know Gracie, I'm so thankful she was here, and I know she shared a lot of resources. You can email me at CristinaGriffin.com. Christina Griffin at kw.com. And I am happy to help. Hold on, the intro script. Script is, hi, my name's Christina Griffin. I work with off-market properties. I need a bankruptcy attorney. Is there any way you can share with me your resources? Let them sell you. It's just a matter of, hi, I do this. I need an attorney I could refer people to. Can you share with me how I can work with you? The next question is there anything I can help you with? And that's how you continue to grow those relationships. Okay. All right, guys, thanks for all the love in the chat. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, so I will kind of put a bow on things. Everybody, thank you for joining us. Again, I'm going to give you guys a minute to click on those links in the note or in the chats. If you are following us on Facebook, or if I have your email address, you will receive a recorded phone call, a recorded call of the conversation, and I've captured all the links. So when we distribute that call, or the link to the call, which usually takes us a day, usually 24 hours, you'll get all the links that Gracie was so kind to share with us. I've captured them. So hang tight for that. Follow us on Facebook for the follow-up. And then our next call is September 6th. And again, if you are following us, you'll get all the updates on that. And Christina, this call was fantastic and so informative and helpful and exciting. Yes, thank you so much.
Awesome. All right, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you, and thanks for having me.
Thanks, Christina, so much.
Bye.
Thank you all, and see you next month, same place, same time.
Thank
Have
you
a
all.
wonderful time till then.